you're a Corvette owner, you're probably sitting on your couch right now with your white Skechers on, you probably got your denim shorts, and you're looking for some headlights for your C6. So we've got two options for you. On my right here, we have the Morimoto XB headlights, and then on my left, we have the Spider headlights, which are actually sonar, which are actually DM Moto, and any other name you want to put on it. We'll dive into that later. So we're going to dive into the performance here in a second, but first, how do these headlights function? The Morimoto XB headlight is a full LED assembly, meaning there's no bulbs to replace. It is all built in and integrated into one plug-and-play housing. You don't have to swap anything over. You don't have to buy any bulbs. It's all in there for you. The Spider headlights, on the other hand, are going to be an HID setup. You're going to take your stock bulb and your stock ballast and transfer it into this headlight. So you're going to keep the same headlight system, just in a new housing. It sounds nice just taking your stock bulbs and putting it into a new housing, but think of how old that bulb and ballast setup is already. Your stock Corvette HID system can lose up to 70% of its brightness over time. So if you're going this route, you may want to consider new bulbs and ballasts as well. Now let's take a look at the Spider HID headlights. They're not very bright, not a good cutoff line, and as you can see, the hotspot is a really weird shape. It should be high and tight in the beam, but it's actually low and large, which will cause major glare issues on the road. The effect this type of beam pattern gives people, especially in a car like the Corvette, which is so low to the ground, is overwhelming with foreground illumination, which actually makes it harder for the driver to see long distances. High beam isn't much better, they don't get any brighter at all. Now let's take a look at the Morimoto XB LED headlights. These are way brighter than the stock C6 headlights and the aftermarket Spider headlights. Not only are they brighter, but they have a much better beam pattern. The cutoff line is clean and sharp, which is a testament to the quality of the projector used here. The hotspot is also high and tight in the cutoff line. This is nice because it gives you the most long-range performance. When we flip it to high beam, it goes nuclear. The high beam on the XB headlights is even brighter yet, and an absolute game changer when comparing the headlights to Spider and the stock C6 headlights. I want to point out two things on the low beam, and this part is really important. The width. Look at how much more left to right visibility you get with the Morimoto XB headlights. Saving yourself from just one encounter with a critter on the side of the road will more than pay for your new headlights. To you, this may just look like shapes on the wall, but what you should see is performance. The top beam has a much smaller hotspot that hugs the cutoff line. The bottom beam has a much larger hotspot, which is significantly below the cutoff line. Because of this, the Morimoto headlights give you a much more precise, useful, and bright beam, but the Spider headlights give you a bunch of light in places you don't even need it. We do not need to be illuminating the road 25 feet in front of us with the power of the sun. The light needs to go downrange. Otherwise, what's the point? Enough talk about performance, let's get into the features. The Morimoto XB has an extremely bright and pure white colored LED DRL with the high-powered LED chips on the side that act as turn signals. You get to choose whether it's sequential like this or standard on-off like this. The Spider headlights also have a diffused white DRL with a more modern white 6000K color to it. It has an integrated amber LED built into the white DRL, so when you hit your turn signals, the DRL switches to an amber, as well as the LEDs on the side. Some people like this style of animation, others think it looks a little off. One thing to note is the Spider headlights do not have the option of sequential or standard, so you are stuck with the sequentials. If you don't like the animation, you may want to look for a different headlight. The Morimoto XB, being a fully LED assembly, has a bi-LED projector, meaning there's an LED projector inside the headlight that controls both your low beam and your high beam. The Spider headlights have a bi-xenon projector, meaning it has an HID bulb that controls both your low beam and your high beam. Both of these headlights utilize a cutoff shield inside the headlight that either lowers or comes up for low beam and high beam. Moving on to the color of these headlights, they are both blacked out, but they are different. The Morimoto XB headlight has this really nice piano black finish to it. It's like a gloss black. It's gonna match really well within a whole variety of colors of Corvettes. The Spider headlights, on the other hand, are gonna have more of this matte black style, almost like a really dark gray color. So if you like that matte color, maybe you're gonna wanna look into the Spiders, but if you prefer gloss black to match the rest of the paint, the XB headlights are gonna do a better job with that. When you're making a headlight purchase like this, one thing to keep in mind is the warranty. How are they gonna take care of you if you have a defect? The Morimoto XB headlights have a 5-year warranty. This headlight that we ordered from DM Moto on eBay came in a Spider box and is only advertised with a 60-day warranty. you're covered for 2 months, and after that, you're on your own. Both of these headlights come stamped with DOT SAE compliance, meaning they are street legal. But does that mean they're actually street legal? The Spider headlights have no paperwork on their street legality. We cannot find any documentation from DOT proving that they have inspected these headlights for street compliance. The Morimoto XB headlights have the same DOT and SAE stamping. However, Morimoto does provide the street legality paperwork. These headlights will pass inspections if you have to deal with those, emissions, you can't get tickets if you get pulled over. These headlights are fully street compliant and they have the paperwork to prove it. A huge problem with the C6 Corvette headlight is the seal that runs up the perimeter of the housing. The OEM seals after time tend to break down and degrade, and this can cause fitment problems. Looking at the Spider headlight, the seal is very small, very thin, and we noticed at the bottom, it's already starting to fail. The Morimoto seal is much more solid, it's much better quality, it goes around the perimeter of the headlight very evenly, there's no splits. Overall, this is a much more quality seal than the Spider. So when we're looking at pricing, you guys, the Morimoto XB headlight is gonna come in at about $1,450. The Spider headlights come in at about $1,000. We purchased them at $700, but that doesn't even include a new bulb, a new ballast. You don't wanna put the stock stuff into your new headlight because you're trying to upgrade anyways. The whole point is to get a better headlight, better performing right out of the box. Why do you need to purchase anything additionally? The Morimoto headlight comes with everything pre-installed. You don't need to upgrade anything. It's as good as it can possibly get right out of the box. If you have any questions at all, drop them in the comment box below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to know what fits your vehicle, head on over to our website, enter your year, make, and model, and you'll be shown everything that we offer bumper to bumper.